Counting calories and tracking your food can be a very effective way to lose fat, but it can also feel like a second job. And for some people with their very busy work schedule, traveling, kids, school obligations, it can be just too much and not realistic. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through steps how you can lose fat without necessarily counting your calories or tracking your food. So let's get started. Now, we don't have to count calories to lose fat, but the calories still matter. At the end of the day, if you want to lose fat, we need to be in a calorie deficit, meaning consuming less energy that we are burning. If we're consuming more calories or more energy that we are burning, the leftover of those calories has to be stored somewhere. It's not just going to disappear, right? So it's going to be typically stored in the fat cells or in the form of glycogen in your muscles. Now, if you are burning more calories that you're consuming, your body gonna use that energy that it needs, help you from fat, but you can also use that energy from stored glycogen from your muscles. And if you're eating very little food and your diet is too aggressive, you can also use energy from muscles and you're gonna lose muscle mass, which this is something that we don't want, right? So at the end of the day, the calories still matter, but we don't have to necessarily count the calories to lose fat. There are certain ways we can do it with the way we eat that's going to allow us to lose fat without necessarily feeling like we are, counting our calories or that we are even on the diet. And there's no magical foods, no magical diets that's going to help you to lose fat. At the end of the day, it comes down to calories in versus calories out. But there are certain foods that you can eat and focus on that's going to help you with the diet, make the diet easier. It's gonna feel that you don't feel like you have to starve yourself. It's also certain foods gonna help you to fuel your performance. It's gonna help you to preserve muscle mass and keep you healthier. And those foods are typically whole foods. So we are talking about fruits, vegetables, lean meats, like chicken, fish, and steak or eggs. We want to typically focus on minimally processed, nutritious whole foods. And if we're focusing on those foods, we're going to feel more satiated, more fulfilled, we're going to provide more nutrients, and it's going to be harder for you to overeat on the calories. Now, if you are a beginner to dieting, meaning that you're attempting to lose fat for the first time, or you have tried in the past to lose fat, but you are not successful, I consider you a beginner, I recommend before you removing stuff, added stuff first. That's why I tell my clients initially is like, before you remove, add. What I mean by that is, instead of telling you, never have cookies, never have pizza, never have this, never have that, and give you that restrictive mindset and shame you for that, that's just not going to be realistic. That's not going to be sustainable. And eventually you're going to burn out and you're going to quit. So before we're removing stuff, I'm telling my clients, you can still have a little bit of, junk food here and there, but make sure you're adding to your meals a source of protein, a source of fruits or vegetables, or some type of a fiber. So make sure that each meal contains that. And if you're going to focus on adding those good quality whole foods, you automatically gonna eat less of that bad food, because you're gonna feel more satiated, you're gonna feel more full, and it's gonna lower the craving for that bad stuff, right? Bad stuff. I don't like to call food necessarily bad, but the higher calorie, highly processed foods, right? So that's my strategy. Before you remove, add it. And then over time, maybe minimize some of the highly processed food or substitute them with better alternatives, right? So like, for example, if you're eating, a bunch of candies or cookies, maybe substitute that with fruits, which is going to give you that sugar satisfaction and that sweetness satisfaction. So focusing on whole foods is going to be very important. We also want to make sure that we're prioritizing protein, because protein is going to help you to preserve muscle mass when you're trying to lose fat. And at the end of the day, we don't want to just lose weight. We want to lose fat and preserve muscle so you can stay strong and stay lean. Protein are also the most satiating macronutrients, so that's going to help you with your hunger and satiation when you're trying to lose fat, which is going to be very important as well. Another thing is Again, we want to add that fiber. Fiber is going to be great for your digestion, and also it's going to help you to stay more satiated and more fulfilled. Fiber is also very filling. So again, adding those fruits, those vegetables is going to be very important. Making sure that you're staying hydrated, drinking plenty of water. That's going to also help you to feel more fulfilled, and it's going to lower your cravings, and it's going to lower the risk for overeating on food, right? Also, another strategy that's going to help you is having a meal schedule where you're eating 3 to 4 or 5 meals per day around the same time every day, so you can so your cravings and your hunger throughout the day is more steady, instead of eating whenever you can, and then you have those higher spikes of hunger, and that's when you maybe you're tired, you don't have time to cook, so that's when it's easier to reach foods that are maybe not the best for you. So having a meal schedule is going to be helpful. Another very important thing as well is eating mindfully, meaning that you don't want to rush when you're eating. You want to slow down when you're chewing your food, because it takes a little bit of time for your brain to register the sensation of fullness. But if you're eating quickly on the go, you're rushing, stuff like that, it's much easier to overeat and just eat till you are stuffed, right? So slow down, lower the distractions, slow down when you're eating. It's gonna be helpful as well. So that's when it comes down to like eating and nutrition, right? Another thing that's gonna help you to lose fat without necessarily counting your calories is increasing your activity level. So maybe you can walk more, increase your step count throughout the day, or doing more cardio. That's like walking, running, bicycling, boxing, playing different sports. All those different things gonna help you to burn more calories and help you to lose fat. We also wanna make sure that we're getting enough sleep, because if we're not getting enough sleep and we are tired on the next day because we didn't get enough sleep, your activity level and your motivation to go to the gym might be lower. You're gonna move less, you might skip workouts, your willpower might be depleted when you're tired, and that's when it's easier to, you know, not have the best diet or eat kind of junk food. Managing your stress is gonna be important too, because some people, when they stress out, they copy with stress by overeating or eating junk food. So managing your stress is gonna be important as well. So those are the strategies that are gonna help you to lose fat without necessarily counting your calories or tracking your food. Now, how can we actually track progress if we actually losing fat and preserving muscle mass? There are a few things we can do. Tracking your weight. Now, I don't necessarily make judgment for my clients or myself based on one reading on the scale, based on one day, because we might catch you on a day where, you know, night before you might be had more sodium into your meal and you might have more water retention. You still might have food in your stomach, you didn't go to the bathroom, you may be stressed out, so you have a higher cortisol level, which can cause water retention. So that I don't like to make changes into nutrition or training plan based on one reading. I like to look at weekly or bi-weekly averages. If the pattern of after 2 weeks where we see you losing weight over time, maybe half to 1 pound per week, then we're on the right track. We're gonna continue with what we're doing. If after 2 or 3 weeks we're not losing weight, then we have to make adjustments. So that's how I like to do it based on scale. We also can do measurements of your waist, of your chest, legs, to see over time if you're actually losing inches. Mirror, or the way you look, the way your clothes fits, can also be a good indication of your progress. And we also like to track performance. If you're maintaining your strength, if your energy level is still out there, you're performing well in the gym, that means you're not losing muscle mass. So that's, for me, is also a beneficial indication of your progress and if what we are doing is actually working. And again, if you are not losing weight after, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks, then we have to make adjustments. And the way we can make adjustments is 3 things. Either increasing your activity level, maybe increase your step count, or maybe do a little bit more cardio, or we can eat a little bit less. So maybe we can lower your portion sizes, take away a little bit more food from carbohydrates, such as rice, potatoes, breads, whatever, just cut down a little bit, or take the energy out from fats. Or we can do a combination of both. Maybe cut down or lower the portion sizes by about 5, 10, 15% and increase your activity level. We can do a combination of both. That's gonna be depending on the individual preferences and what they can do. So that's how we can make adjustments and track progress. So you don't have to be perfect to lose fat and get in shape. You wanna be consistent with what you're doing, listen to your body, make small adjustments, improvement over time, tweak some things when it needs to be, keep showing up, be consistent, and results will come. Now, let me know in the comments, what is your biggest struggle when it comes down to fat loss? Is it your nutrition? Is it training, lack of motivation? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click like, subscribe, watch one of those videos here on the side for more nutrition and training content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.